All right, welcome back to another video. In the last video, we finished up, I think, every part of our drop-down selector filter that we want for our table filters. And now we're going to jump back to our quantity filter for the number of students, and we're going to fix that up so it's up to par with our selector filter. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to have a little announcement or a little update on how these videos are going and some changes I'm going to make. So stay tuned for that, or jump ahead if you'd like. But without further ado, let's get started. So this is our filter that we've completed. When you select things, you can see what you've selected. There's a second button here to clear it if you need to. Go to middle school and click apply, and then I clear it. It gets all the tables again. So let's go back to let's close all these. Let's go back to our school tables filter, and let's bring back our quantity table filter right here. And let's see what happens. I don't think it is going to look anywhere near what this other one looks like. Am I running the app right now? I am, okay. Yeah, so it's not even in line. It looks kind of clunky. So let's put these side by side and see what changes we made, because I can't even remember. So our select table filter is the one that's up to par, or I keep saying up to par. It's the one that's finished. If we go back to our quantity table filter, I bet you down here, yeah, we have one button for displaying the current value. I'm going to replace all of that with this. I'm going to import pill wrapper from our components here. And I also saw that clear selection was undefined. So if we go here, we can probably copy all of this, set applied option. That's going to be set applied value. We can just set that to 0. Apply filter 0, set this panel open false. Perfect. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, way better. If we put a value in here and click apply, you can see that it's highlighted there, or it's not highlighted. So if we go back to our pill display thing here, this is what we're doing for the select filter. If we go back to our quantity filter, we're doing this, whatever this is. Okay, what is this? Get the method. I think we can put all of that in there. Remove this. Otherwise, we return a span. That's what we do in the other one, with just the name. Element is not type string. This is no longer returning a string. It's returning a React node. And filter value, I believe that is also coming from here. Let's just see. Oops. And React node, where are we getting that from? Importing it from React. Okay, so let's go back again. And now you can see this is highlighted, is equal to 231. Apparently it's not actually sending that filter because it's not filtering the content. Let's try this again, is equal to like 2. Apply. We're getting a 400, which is saying enter a number. So apparently, if we look at the request, oh, we're losing the and. I wonder when we did that. Oh, we just need the and right there. That should work. Let's change this to 1, click apply. There we go. So none of the schools have 1. Apparently none of them have 2. Apparently none of them have 3. All right, our filter might not be working right now. I'm going to ignore it because that's not currently my priority. We will have to fix it, but I'm curious though. What if I do, if I clear it and then I do like is less than 5, or right, so that works. So parts of it are working. We'll figure out the rest later. The next thing is to make these so they are in line, because right now they're stacked on top of each other. Should be relatively easy. If we go to our school table filters, we have a wrapper here. I'm actually going to move this wrapper into our table filter wrappers, and we're going to create one for all table filters that we have to tables. So this will be used for all of our tables. Export const table filter bar wrapper. And I think all we have to do is make this display flex. By default, flex direction is row, but I like to be explicitly say it so you can see it. So that will align the items horizontally. We can align the items center vertically so that they're all aligned. And then if we do a gap of like 8 pixels, that'll put a gap between everything. So we can do that. And then if we go here, import that from library, tables, table filter wrappers, and then we can use that here. And hypothetically, it should be aligned now. Look at that. Last thing we need to fix is, well, one, the offset is super weird. Two, you can open up both of these, which is not what we want. I was thinking about how to fix this, and I believe the proper approach is the filter bar, which is school table filters, has to manage which panel is open. And this is actually good. Yeah, has to manage which panel is open. So open panel, open panel, set open panel. By default, it's going to be, I'm just gonna, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna create a few constants here, just right here. So const open panel none equals 0, open panel quantity or students equals 1. Spell const wrong. Open panel, what was the last one? Category equals 2. It's probably saying, oh, it's never used. So I can put this here. And then I'm going to pass the key into these. So these are going to have a key parameter now. And this one's going to have a key as well, which is the open panel category. Okay. And then we also actually need an open panel prop, which I'm going to pass in from that value. So this is letting every filter know which panel is open, whether it's itself or a different panel. And it's saying we don't have that as a prop. Open panel is going to be a number. And here as well, open panel is going to be a number. I can grab it here. And now we don't need this is panel open because go back to our filter bar. The individual filters also need to be able to tell the parent bar, like close my panel or open my panel. So they're also all going to need a method. This is getting a bit lengthy now, but and I might rename this because open panel, that sounds like a method name actually. Maybe current open panel and then the open panel or closed panel. Let me think about this for a second. Going a little bit too fast. So if we're using our filter bar, oh yeah, I can't even use it. If we're using the filter bar and we open another one, that's going to have to tell the table bar I'm opening this, which is going to close the other ones. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Okay, so this is going to set the open panel to whatever value this is. Panel implicitly has any, it's going to be number. Move this down here as well. So now there's another prop. We have current open panel, which is a number, and then this is actually going to be a function. So we'll do that. Move it over here as well. And then we have current open panel and open panel, which are all props. I'm going to put this on a new line so it's easier to read. And now we can say open panel, and we're actually going to be, this one's setting it to false, so we're just going to close that. Wait, where do we set it to true? Set this panel open. Oh, it's called in a few spots. Okay. So here we're going to say open panel 0, which we're going to change for that constant because 0 is going to be closed. Is panel open? Where are you getting this from? Okay. Is panel open is going to be true if the current open panel equals, can you get the key as a prop? Like, can I do key? I think I can. Okay, and then set this panel open, and we're going to set that to the key as well. And this is actually going to just be open panel. All right, hopefully that made sense. Does not exist on prop. Let's see if we can actually do that. React use component key. Okay, well, apparently you want to use a custom property. So I'm going to, for now, just rename it to ID, which means back here we have another prop, ID number, ID, and actually ID is kind of it's a bit too short. It's kind of easy to forget what it means. So we're going to be a bit verbose, and we're going to call it filter ID. So the current panel is open if the current panel open equals the filter ID. And then to open the panel, we're calling the open panel method with the filter ID. Okay, let's do the same thing on this one so that we can try and get this all to render. So the current open panel, the open panel method, and filter ID. You no longer need this. One thing is this open panel none. I'm actually going to put it. I'm going to rename this, but I'm going to put it in here because these are sort of like we're keeping our generic components for tables. We might move it later, but for right now, this seems like an all right place because it's where we're pulling all our reusable items for our filters. There's just file name probably needs an update. But what this allows us to do is now if we go back to our quantity table filter, we can import this const, and instead of 0 here, we can say open panel none. So it's a bit easier to read. You're saying like open no panel, or essentially close panel. Okay. And yeah, we can do the same thing here. So import this, set that to none. This is calling open panel. Const is panel open is true if the filter ID equals the current open panel. And then this, we're calling it with the filter ID as well. All right. Let's see if we have any errors right now, if we can refresh. Okay, so if I do this, okay, so now if I click one, what's happening is the filter itself is saying open the panel with this ID, which is going to the parent bar, which is like pretty much this whole bar here, and it's saying set the open panel to that ID. So now only one can be opened at a time. If we do like is less than 2, we can answer, then we can open up this one, we can say elementary school is only, perfect. And there we go. Now we have 2 filter bars working. There's only one panel open at a time. You can clear them. It's a little bit weird that if you clear this, it sets it to 0. I think when we clear, we're also going to have to set the applied method to an empty string. So now if we clear, there we go. All right. And I think that's it for this tutorial. Like we got the quantity filter working. Now the filters are working well together. There's a couple more filters we want to add. Probably a text filter for the name. And maybe we'll call it there and move on for now because we have been working on this table for a bit. But in terms of the work we're doing in this video, I'm going to call it there. I'm now going to talk a little bit about what my plan is for future videos. So just to get into it, this is going to be the 21st video on my channel, woohoo. I've found like the first 15 videos were pretty concise. It was, we're going to work on this and we do it from start to finish. And sometimes you would go over 1 or 2 videos. But videos 15 to 21, which includes this one, we've been working on the filter bar. Like it's been 6 videos of working on the filter bar. And part of that is because I didn't do any prep on how I was going to do this. I was just sending it. We started one filter bar. We decided not to do it. We started another thing. I changed everything. You know, we've run into lots of issues and rewritten a lot of code. So for videos 15 to 21, I'm actually going to record one video that summarizes all the changes we did from 15 to 21. And then after that, with the videos moving forward, I'm going to do a bit more prep to keep these videos a bit shorter and easier to watch. So stay tuned for that. But if you just watch 15 through 21, feel free to go back to this next summary video I'm making, and you might learn some more and get kind of a summary of why we made all the decisions we did, because watching all those videos together was a bit clunky for sure. But that's the plan. Going to create a video that summarizes everything from 15 to 21, and then going to be doing a bit more prep so we have some solid start, completion, end for each video moving forward. But that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.